Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Noona's Noonchi podcast, where I invite special guests to do mental health deep dives and reactions to some of your favorite K-dramas. Today, I have Marianna Baroli, hopefully I said that right, who is an Italian journalist that mainly covers K-pop. But I met her on Clubhouse, where we meet everybody pretty much. And we talked K-dramas, and she's also a K-drama fan. So I wanted to bring her on this podcast so we could have somebody from Italy. I love watching her stuff on Instagram and following her on social media. So please follow her. She's Counting Stars, by the way, on Instagram. But Marianna, welcome. So excited to have you.
Thank you, Jeannie. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we met on Clubhouse.
I know we met on Clubhouse.
Meeting.
And we went on
one
Clubhouse.
of the best meeting ever on Clubhouse. We are doing lots of great room together. So I'm pretty excited about this podcast.
Thanks so much for being here. I'm so glad to have you. So let's talk about your work first, because you obviously love watching K-dramas, but you cover K-pop. So talk a little bit about what you do. Exciting.
I actually tried to introduce K-pop to the Italian public because even before the pandemic, it was something that it was seen like something for the younger. And then I told everybody, no, come on, K-pop, it's something like every other kind of music. So try listen to it, even if it's in another language. It's not in Italian, it's not in English. So we are not used to that, but try to listen to it and understand better what they're saying and what they're singing. Actually, in Italy, K-pop right now, it's basically BTS and a few other groups, maybe Blackpink a bit and Stray Kids, but mainly it's BTS. K-pop, it's BTS. So I'm trying to teach, let me say teach, the Italian public that K-pop, it's much more. And then there is a huge work behind that. So I'm trying to just let people know that there are smaller groups that are working hard to try to become famous like BTS, and that maybe they have the potential to be famous like BTS, but they're not well known in Italy and in Europe. So I'm trying to do that.
That's
it's
so
pretty
cool.
exciting. It's pretty exciting, yes.
Well, how did you get into that?
And it all started with BTS. It's all started with BTS.
Of course.
Every time start with them.
It's true. And BTS is taking over the world. So that's fine. I'm waiting for them to go into K-dramas.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait because we have Kim Tae-young on Harang, and it was great. I really like that, but I can't wait to see Kim Sok-jin in a K-drama, or maybe someone else like I think that J-Hope and Suga, they have a huge potential for K-dramas because I think their background is great.
I think that's the next step, but that's exciting. So I think that's super cool. You're educating in your country about K-pop. So then how did you get into K-dramas?
That was a passion of mine since like 2009 when I started watching Boys Over Flower. It was my first K-drama. So in Italy, it was pretty difficult to get K-dramas. So I watched them on website and blogs and things like that, so with the English subtitles. No one was watching them, and I was the weird one who choose to watch K-dramas and anime all the time. And right now, K-dramas are huge in Italy. There is huge request of K-drama. Netflix Italy is full of K-dramas. Everybody loves them. Right now we have Vincenzo that it's going so well here. It's one of the most watched K-drama, and also Love featuring Marriage and Divorce, which is pretty strange. It's pretty strange, like it's a pretty strange choice, but it's going better than Itaewon Class. So it's crazy how the Italian public responds to K-drama, but we love love stories. So
so interesting. So it's becoming more popular now. Now let's talk about Vincenzo. Very, very popular drama, even in Korea and globally. So Italy, they thought okay about his portrayal of a consigliere?
Yes, absolutely yes, because I was worried about that. So I tried to explain people beforehand that yes, Korea, there was this kind of romanticizing the mafia, even twice are singing about that. So okay, let's take it slow, but Vincenzo is something else, and actually they're taking pretty well. No one is
Hmm.
complaining, just because I think that they did understand that Vincenzo it's not a mafia guy, and it's
Yeah,
something else. It's just
that's
something else.
cool.
So yeah, it's really cool, and the people are responding well to his Italian as well. Someone is mocking him a bit, but still, I think it's Italian. It's pretty good, so I really like them, and I'm happy that it's becoming famous and famous here in Italy, and also the side characters are becoming really famous here in Italy, and that's
They're so
great. I
good.
think
I
that's really
love the
great.
side actors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Mhm.
are great. They are great. I think that Kwak Dong Yeon, it's good, so good,
My
and
favorite.
Ok Tae-kyun in the villain role, I think hands down, it's one of the best role he ever done.
Wow. So let's talk about that because you're a journalist. And I want to say, let's talk about who you've interviewed that are some K-drama people that you could share that was super fun. I'd love to ask you, what was some of the fun interviews you've done?
Absolutely, one of the best interviews was the one with Sungun.
Sungwoon, everybody Sungwoon.
Yeah, everybody's angry, and in Italy is so famous. I didn't think about that, but when I got the chance, I just say yes because it's Tangon. So I said, okay, I'll take him. Give it,
Yeah.
take,
You don't say no to
bring him to
Sungwoon.
me. Yeah, who can say? No one can say no to
Hmm.
Tangon. And it was so funny to interview. He's a great guy. He's really funny, and it's really a simple guy, just sharing his passion. He keeps telling us that he loved to swim, but now his life is pretty different. So
Mm.
doesn't matter because this is his dream now. So he's really happy, and he loves Italy. He was there. He come to Italy, I think, a couple of times already, and is in love with our country and can wait to come back. So it was a really funny interview, and I have a lot of them, but I can't share that much.
I know you
But
can't share your work that much, but you could talk about
yeah,
Sungwoon. That's awesome.
but there are huge names, and I'm very very happy.
Well, did you speak about any specific of his K-dramas with him, like his work, like what he enjoyed about what he does?
Yes, yes. He keep telling that it's really challenging getting into his roles because he's always portrayed like the good guy and the beautiful guy, the rich guy that everyone loves and the main character falls in love with. And he wants something else. Is looking for something else, but right now is on Love featuring Marriage and Divorce season
Yeah.
2. So I think that I know that he's reading a few scripts and he's looking into something, some new roles. Maybe I
Hmm.
was suggesting him something like the one he did in Fate with
Mm-hmm.
Limino. He told
Mm.
me that that role was really hard for him because his character was totally doesn't exist in the real world. So for him, it was very challenging to get into that character, and it was great, and he loved that role. But I think that now that he grew up a lot, he can do much better. So I think that it would be good to watch him in something like that, maybe an historical drama, like
Yeah, that's
fantasy
super
historical
cool.
drama.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
no
it
matter
was.
what, I know Sungwoon. I mean, I'm a fan of all the K-drama people, so I think that's so cool. You got to interview him. That's super awesome. So then, I guess I'll ask you this. You and I have discussed it over Clubhouse and just talking about mental health, and
Mhm.
mental health even of K-pop stars or K-pop idols. What's your take on it? I mean, you don't think it's too personal, but what do you feel? how does mental health play a role, and how did you feel about like Jisoo and some of the stories that we hear about some of these stars as a journalist? What's your take on it?
I try to stick to what really happens, to the facts, because I think that going hard on these people, it's crazy, and attack them on the media side, it's overwhelming for them. It's already so hard for them being an idol or a K-pop or an Hallyu wave actor. So I think that as a journalist, we need to just tell the story without judging them. And that happens too much with Jisoo, because
Mm-mm.
I know he did something wrong and it was wrong. We all agree about that. But still, right now he's coming back, explaining himself. And yes, probably he was young. I don't know, but I think that still this will be a huge issue in his life, because he will be forever the one that sexual assaulted a girl, and maybe it isn't true. So
Mm.
I think that going too hard on this kind of stars that are very young and start at a young age, away from their family, it's always wrong. I don't think it's good for them. And I think that also about Hyunjin of Stray Kids, keeping him away they're keeping him away too much from the
Mm.
scene. And we can see the group is suffering about that, because on Kingdom they did great, because it was so good. They were amazing, but they were missing someone. Every time they told them, we are eight, they keep remembering it. We are eight, we're not seven. So I think that
Um,
going too hard on these guys, it's so wrong.
yeah, no, I hear you. But thanks for sharing that. I wanted to hear your viewpoint as a journalist. So, of course, I'm going to ask you this big question. How has K dramas changed your life?
They changed it a lot, because I think that K-drama helped me open my mind more than ever. Because when you stick to the here in Italy, we are still stuck on television with US programs, and that was I don't know. It's something that helped me watching and thinking over what I see every day in my life and what I read every day in my life. And also on the romantic side of life, I think that helped me like understand more the people who I'm in front. And I don't know, I think that K-drama changed you in a better way, because they're so sweet and simple, and they are something that you're getting used to in your life. And I think that they are healing in some kind of way. They're not toxic at all, because even if there's some character that is toxic, because we always see, like, for example, in Boys Over Flower, Kimino role, it was really, really, really toxic. But
Mm.
still, I think that at the end, you think, oh, come on, it was just a rich guy with a lot of problems. I totally understand him. So, okay, maybe I can rewatch it again, thinking about that. And yes, it's healing. I think it's healing and helps you. In my case, they help me relax after a day of work. I like watching the K dramas during the night before going to bed, and they're healing and they're keeping me safe. I feel safe.
I love that. So then thank you for sharing that. I love that you said toxic. Because you're right, but then we somehow end up seeing their characters change and then you feel sorry for them. You're right. Imino's character,
Yeah,
it's funny. Boys Over Flower is such a popular drama, but then as people watch it, they're
yeah,
like, wow, his character's kind of annoying if you think about it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And you go straight to the second lead, saying, "Oh my
Yeah,
God,
so
he's
sweet.
so safe." But still, is not that safe, because he has his own issues, like Himino character. So when you get to the end, you say, okay, they all have problems. This character, they all have problems, but still, we all do. So,
Yes.
come on, let's try to understand them. And I think that it's really important to get that from K dramas, and that's what I think it's good because in the end they explain why the character is that way, so you can learn from it and from his mistakes that can be yours. So it's good.
That's awesome. I know. So then that said, you also said K-dramas have been healing. How have they healed you? So can you think of some specific K-dramas or you're like that you go to that you're like, okay, I just feel good watching this?
Yeah, actually, I have a K drama which made me cry a lot. It's Uncontrollably Fond,
Mhm.
and that made me cry a lot because it's a story that's so sad and so devastating that I can relate to that because I lost one of my best friend when I was younger, and we didn't know that she was sick till the end. So
Mm.
I think that I can relate to that, and it's kind of healing because they help you see that you're not alone. That some people experience that as well, and how they react. I know that Uncontrollably Fond it's fake, but still, it's not that fake because these things happen to everyone in their life. Can happen. So it's something that life is challenging. So, and I think that crying over that K drama helped me healing a bit.
Yeah.
What happened when I was younger? I was in middle school, so I was really young at that time. But yeah, I think that that's the good thing about K dramas because you don't see that in other TV shows. Like for example, let me talk about I don't know something like I actually any medical TV show they
Mhm.
didn't talk about that. They just explain, okay, the people is sick, okay, it's dead, but they didn't explain what happens to the other people around him, and that's something that K drama do. So I think that's really good.
Like you get to see in K-dramas everybody else's perspective, you mean? Like people around the
Yeah,
person
yeah,
dying or yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you see what life is for the other people, not just for the sick one that is going to die. And I think that Uncontrollably Fond it's a really good and healing drama. You cry a lot by watching it because you
Mhm.
cry a lot, but it's
Yeah.
really good. It's a really really good drama.
Well, it sounds like you recalled what happened to you when you were little with your best friend, which is very
Yeah,
tragic, but it still helped you heal despite that,
yeah,
because I guess you just were able to express your emotions, it sounds like. Because crying can be really
yeah.
good.
Yeah, crying is not a crime, not for a girl, not for a woman, not for a boy, and not for a man. So let's cry watching K drama. I love crying watching K drama, and I love crying watching romantic scene like in Scarlet Heart. I cry a lot actually. So
I do
I
too.
think I cried for almost every drama I watched. So I'm not that. But Uncontrollably Fond really devastate me, and
Okay.
but
It's a good one.
I felt good after watching it. When it ended, I told my sister that she's the one that suggested me the title. She told me, "Oh, it's cute. Watch that." So, and I watched that, and I cried so much, and I told her I'm crying again. I keep crying for like 16 episodes, but then I felt good, and I told her watch this drama because it's good, it's really good. You cry a lot but it's good, it's good for you, it helps you release your stress. Also I think that helped me a lot. It's one of the best drama I watched
Oh, that's
by the
awesome. Thanks
healing
for sharing that.
side.
No, it is a sad one. So folks, you should see it. I mean, all of them, sad, happy, romantic, they're all good, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's great. And there is Susie, which is good in that role, and
Mhm.
okay, we don't talk about him because it's too good to be true. So that's
That's funny. Oh, so that's speaking
that's
of which then is what is your favorite K-drama? Do you have one that you're like telling everybody about K-dramas? You have to watch this one.
I think it's Goblin. It's not my favorite, but I think that everyone should watch that.
Goblin. I cried a lot in Goblin too.
I cried a lot too. I cry for that too.
Um,
I told you I cry every time. I
I
cry for
cry a lot
every
too.
kind
You know,
of
I'll be like, oh
drama.
my gosh, I'll cry when it's happy. I'm like, that's so happy. That's so.
Yeah. I totally feel you. I totally feel you. I
Mhm.
keep crying, so
Well,
but
when you
it's
tell people
good.
about Goblin, and you said it's not your favorite, but why do you tell people to watch Goblin?
I think that it has everything that need. If you are not used to a K drama, you need to watch it because there is a romance, there is a supernatural side, there is a good story behind it. There is a lot of traditional Korean folk tale, and I think that's good. It's a mix of elements that make it good, and the
Mm.
actors are great. So I think that it's a good starter because I will tell people to watch Boys Over Flower or Coffee Prince, but they
Mhm.
are too old right now.
Mm.
And I think that Goblin, it's a good choice for
Classic.
someone who never watched a K drama and want to start watching something.
I completely agree with you. Yes, Goblin's one of my favorites. That's awesome. So on a last note,
Hmm.
with your own, when we talk about mental health and
Hmm.
K dramas, what do you think is one thing that you can share that K dramas have helped you regarding your mental health? Now, we already talked about how it's changed your life, but what's one thing? I mean, because there's many things you could share, but one thing that you've seen in your life, how K dramas have played a role about with your mental health.
I think that uh, something happens when K drama became my job. When I started writing about that, uh, I actually, because I was before I was just a fan, someone that was really passionate about that, but was something that I was talking about with a couple of friends with the same passion, and keep bothering my sister and my family and my boyfriend when it happened. And but then when I start writing about it, I something switched because I have this role in which I have to explain to people what they're watching and why, and what happens when you keep watching too much K dramas, because we are all watching too much K dramas. Because I just watch K dramas, I only watch them. But still, it's good. It's not something that you should be afraid to tell to others. So I think that helping people become aware that they're not strange, that's something common. Because here in Italy, sometimes being passionate about Asia and the Asian culture, it's still seen like, oh, you're the strange guy with a passion for Korea and Japan. But still, you're not strange. It's just something that makes you feel good. So something switched when I start writing about them, and when I start telling people that it's okay to watch them. You're good.
Mm.
You're like everyone else. There is someone who likes Turkish soap opera and someone who likes Korean ones. So you're on
Mm.
the Korea side, and it's good. And something switched in that moment, and I think I said to myself the same thing. It's good to have this passion and talk about it freely. So keep doing it. You can do it. You can share with everyone without being worried about what people are thinking about you. So it doesn't work. It doesn't matter then what people thinks about you, because it's your passion. It makes you feel good. It's okay. So keep doing it. I think that really helped me a lot, gaining confidence.
That's interesting. You said one thing that I had to just bring up. So I guess in Italy, they see it as Korean drama. So they question, wait, why would you be interested in Korean dramas? Interesting. Okay. But they're becoming more open-minded is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. Because there is a lot of during the lockdown, we don't have that much content to watch. So, and here in Italy was really, really strict for like 1 year and a half. So we can we couldn't go out, not even from on our balcony. So it was really challenging. And people are keep telling us, please help us watch, tell us what to do at home. And I told my boss, I keep watching K-dramas. Why don't suggest them? So we started writing about them, just the top 10 to watch, start watching these, you can enjoy this one. And and suddenly I got a lot of people texting me on social media and sending me message everywhere or email, told me that I love K-drama, but no one was talking about them. And there are every kind of age and people, it's the girl from, I don't know, 15 years old who's passionate about BTS. But there is also my mother, which is 60 years old, and she watched K-dramas and listen to BTS, and she's a huge Kim Tae-young fan. So,
That's awesome.
right now, while we are talking, she texts me, "Oh, our concept boutique, it's arrived. Come open it, please," because I can't wait to see the pictures. And still, every kind of people are watching K-dramas right now, and Netflix Italy, it has a few of them, not that much, but Vicky helps a lot. There is a huge issue with Italian subtitles because a few of them are subtitled in Italian, so a lot of people can't understand clearly what they're watching. But we're working on it. There is a lot of girls that are going to translate and on Viki and making subtitles in Italian as well. And I think that it's good because we're opening up, and it's time. It's time to open up and accept that Korean it's not that strange language. And so I think it's really good, and we are making a lot of improvement on this side.
I'm so excited. Well, that's exciting. And I'm so glad to have met you on Clubhouse. We're going to keep being on Clubhouse talking about K-dramas and of course, K-pop. But thank you so much, Marianna. Any last words you want to share to any K-drama fans out there?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You know that I was so excited to be here. But yeah, keep following us on Clubhouse. We are chatting freely every week, almost every week. I'm totally sleepy because it's always night.
Yeah, 6 hours ahead in Italy. Yeah,
but still, I'm always awake. So no worries. You can feel my sleepy voice, hear my sleepy voice, but I try to be funny in Clubhouse as well.
You are funny. Well, I love it that I got to speak to an Italian journalist about K-dramas. It just tells you how it's going around the world, and it brings us together, friendships.
Yeah.
So
totally,
thank you so much for joining us, you guys. Thanks for listening in on the Noona's Noonchi podcast. Join us next week for a new episode.
Bye.
Marianna Baroli.
Thank you, Jeannie. Bye.
Bye. You can listen in on platforms such as Spotify, Pandora, Google, and Apple, but also watch the podcast on our Noona's Noonchi YouTube channel every Monday, where it launches at 6 p.m. Eastern.